What is up, college football fans? What is up, Clemson Tiger fans? Happy Sunday to everybody. You guys know what I say. Every day above ground is a great day as far as I'm concerned, and every day is a great day to be a Clemson Tiger. Look where I'm at now. Beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. Now, I decided to take a ride down here to First Bank Stadium in Vanderbilt, the site of the biggest upset in the past 20 years that just happened yesterday. Vanderbilt knocked off Alabama. I believe that was Vanderbilt's first win over a top AP top 5 team. And not only was it the AP top 5 team they knocked off, it was the number 1 team in the country, Alabama. Look, Vanderbilt down bad. This looks like a war zone over here. Did this get hit by the hurricane too? There's some workers over there. They're trying to ignore me, though. They're trying to fix up this dump. I've never been here before. I'll tell you what, this might be the worst football stadium, college football stadium I've ever seen in my life. I mean, even the Citadel in Charleston, South Carolina, down where I live, has a nicer stadium than this. This thing is sad. What? Look at this here. What? This looks like a circus. What is this? What is this? Now look, Grandpa's toy box? That sounds real bad. I don't know what that is. But anyway, congratulations to Vanderbilt on your big win yesterday against Alabama. And also congratulations to a lot of teams. Well, we have 5 or 6 top 11 teams go down yesterday, including 2 in the top 5. What a hell of a day in college football. Guess who didn't get upset, though? In a day of upsets, guess who didn't get upset? That's right. You guessed it. The Clemson Tigers did not get upset. I told you they were going to blow Florida State out. Y'all don't want to believe me. Look, they covered the spread. What was it, a 16-point victory or whatever it was, 29-13. And look, there's some great things about this football game, and there were some pretty frustrating things about this football game. Yet again, another week where we saw Clemson's defense do the whole bend but don't break deal. Florida State. Shout out to Florida State. Shout out to Brock Glenn. They moved the ball. There was 3 or 4 drives there where Brock Glenn played out of his mind. Florida State moved the ball. Clemson is very stingy in the red zone, though. Clemson very stingy in the red zone. Offensively, it was frustrating watching that game, but I don't know, man. I think that Clemson actually played a pretty clean football game. Didn't turn the ball over. They ran the ball 25 times with Maffa, and you know how I feel about that. Anytime they give Maffa the ball a bunch of times, I'm happy with that. And shout out to them, too. They didn't panic. I mean, at one point in the second half, Florida State brought it within 10 points, and when everyone's like, oh no, here's the collapse. This is upset day in college football. Here's the collapse we were all waiting on. Shout out to Clemson's defense. They took care of business, and then Clemson got the ball back on offense. Committed to the run with Maffa. Maffa breaks off a huge run. They score, go back up another 2 scores. At that point, it was already out of reach for Florida State. This game was never in question. After Clemson got out to a lead, well, Clemson never trailed in the game, so there is that. Clemson never trailed in the game. They got they got up by a few scores, and then after that, the closest it got was 10 points. And then, of course, we saw how it ended. Cade Klubnik with another big day, adding to his resume, 260 yards passing or something like that. And Maffa with a huge day, 150-something yards on the ground. And so, all in all, not really a lot surprised me about this game. I didn't think – I know what I said because I talk shit about Florida State like it's my job, because it is my job. I understand what I said. They're going to win by 100 points and all that. But I was a little bit worried coming into this game that – with the new quarterback, somebody that Clemson's defense and coaching staff does not have a whole lot of tape on, would be able to go out there and probably throw some wrinkles in there that might confuse Clemson's defense, because Clemson's defense has been, like I said, a bend or not but not break defense all year. And that's exactly what we saw yesterday. But Look, Clemson, 3 straight home games in a row before yesterday. So this was their first true road game because they went on the road week 1 to play Georgia, but that was in Atlanta, a neutral site game. So the first real road test for Clemson, and everybody and their mother was hoping to watch a terrible Florida State team come out there and upset the Tigers. But Clemson moving way up, man. Started out the season ranked at 14, lost to Georgia, dropped to 25, slowly inched their way back up. And with all of the losses, all of the big upsets that happened in the top 10 yesterday, Clemson now sitting at number 10 in the AP poll. If I'm trying to predict, based on what I've seen in the ACC, there's still 3 teams in the ACC that are undefeated in conference. Miami had a hell of a tough road last night. They were down big. I actually went to bed because I had to get up at 3 o'clock this morning to fly out to Nashville on a 6 o'clock flight. So I didn't get to see the second half of that game. And I woke up this morning and looked at my phone. I was like, holy crap, a 1-point victory. Then I went and looked at the replay of everything. And I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. That looked like it was an unbelievable game there. So there's still, Louisville went down yesterday to SMU. That's somebody that Clemson plays this year at home in a few weeks. So you got a few teams. You got SMU, you got Miami, you got Pittsburgh, you got Clemson. So there's still 4, maybe even 5 teams that are still in the mix somehow here, rounding into the second half of the regular season. But yesterday was really just a reminder to me of exactly why all of us idiots on here love the game of college football so much, because you never know what's going to happen. And I'll tell you what, it's great to me because after week 1, when Clemson got blown out in the second half by Georgia, all of the overreactions about how Clemson's done, Dabo Swinney's done, Cade Klubnik is a bust, all of that narrative has gone completely out the window, because almost all of you watching right now, no matter who you root for, you experienced some sort of heartbreaking loss this year too. So we still have a long way to go here, and I'm here for it. So shout out to the Clemson offense. Here's the other thing I'll say. I'm very negative most of the time about the play calling and the offensive scheme or plan for most of these football games. I'll say I thought yesterday Clemson offensively coached a pretty good game. They didn't execute all the time. The execution was barely above average on most of those offensive plays. I liked the plan though. The last 3 games before this game, Clemson went into every game and just decided we're going to throw the ball over the yard. We're going to do 30 pass attempts a game. We're only going to run the ball 15 or 16 times a game with our star running back, Phil Maffa. This week, they took a totally different approach. Clemson did not play yesterday like they were scared to lose that game. Even when they got down in the second half and Florida State scored, and it looked like, Clemson was a little bit on the ropes, Florida State was getting a little bit of a momentum going, they never really wavered from their game plan. They continued to run the ball. They committed to the run, take time off the clock, keep Brock Glenn off the field, because Brock Glenn absolutely balled out. Listen to me, if you're a Florida State fan, first of all, there's no question. There's not a single question about who a better quarterback is for that team for the remainder of the season. He's the guy. He's better. He brings more of a spark. He can make plays with his legs. Clemson's defense was getting pressure on that offensive line for Florida State, but they couldn't get Brock Glenn on the ground. I think they sacked him 2 times, and it could have been a lot more than that. If it would have been DJ back there playing yesterday, they might have sacked him 8 times. I'm not even joking. I'm not inflating numbers, and I'm not lying or joking or trolling or any of that. They might have sacked DJ 8 times yesterday. Brock Glenn really ran that offense about as good as that offense can be run with the limited amount of experience that he has as a starting quarterback. So the future looks bright. They told me yesterday on my live stream, he's only like a sophomore. He's a second-year guy. So he could potentially be there for another 2 or 3 years if he doesn't transfer out. So, hey, look, if you're looking for bright spots on the offense for Florida State, I got to say Brock Glenn is that. Look, now it doesn't matter. Florida State's season is still a disaster. And now they drop to what is it, 1-5. They probably won't make a bowl game. As a matter of fact, I'd be willing to bet about just anything I have in my life on the fact that they won't make a bowl game. But they put up a good fight against a good team yesterday at home against the Clemson Tigers. Next week, unfortunately, Clemson's got Wake Forest. Not the greatest game to look forward to. Clemson's schedule is a little bit front-loaded and then back-loaded, right? So we're in the middle of the season right now, sort of the dark ages of Clemson's schedule. Although, after Wake Forest, Clemson does get Virginia. And don't look now, but Virginia is pretty good. This helicopter's got no respect for me. No respect for me. I'm trying to shoot a video out here in Nashville, Tennessee. This helicopter wants to come in and make noise in the background. But anyway, the state of the fan, I'm happy with what I saw. I was very frustrated during the game just because, you know, I'm a fan. And in real time, I want to see everything go Clemson's way. I want them to score every time they get the ball. I want them to get a turnover every time they're on defense. And I want them to win 100-0. But that's not reality. Today when I woke up, went back, reassessed the game, look at the stats, rewatched some of the game on the plane on the way here. I thought that the game plan was solid. And believe me, there's a lot of things that need to fix or be fixed between now and the ACC title game and between now and a potential playoff run. But we also saw yesterday that there is not such thing as any team in the country who's unbeatable. So if Clemson can get in the playoffs somehow, watch out. Hopefully they get hot at that time, but it's still a long way to go. Still got some good teams to play between now and then. I'm not going to count my chickens or my eggs before they hatch. All right, everybody, make sure you leave a comment below. Hit the like and subscribe button. I do these college football videos year round and apparently all over the country, not just in South Carolina. Let me know what you think about Clemson's game yesterday. Let me know what you think about Vanderbilt. Let me know what you think about all the other teams that lost, that were heavily favored yesterday, and how that shook up the world of college football. Have a great day. I'll see you guys very soon. Go Tigers.